What's up, family? This video is going to be a little different from what we normally do. When you know who you are, labels and titles don't mean anything. Say again, when you know who you are, labels and titles don't mean anything. It is only when you don't know who you are that labels and titles mean everything. People say all kind of things about us. They give us all different types of labels. And when you know who you are, you dismiss them. It's like, I don't care. People say you're ugly. Nah, I don't care. People say you're fat. Man, I don't care. They say whatever they want to say. Because if you know who you are and you're comfortable in who you are, none of that stuff matters. What they think, what they say is completely irrelevant to you. It is only when you don't know who you are that the labels and titles that others give you mean something that matter to you. I'm going somewhere. Stay with me for a second. In our society, we have so many people saying they're woke. It's like the new fad. I'm woke, I'm woke, I'm woke. And the reality, they're not woke. But you can't convince somebody that's asleep that they're not asleep. If you are pushing a political agenda, if you're all Democrat or all Republican or all Libertarian or whatever the other groups are, if you're pushing any one of those agendas, you're not woke. You're not woke. If you're pushing a religious belief, you're not woke. You're not woke. If you're pushing a sexual orientation preference, you're not woke. All of these things are been made to divide us. A woke person is shedding all labels. A woke person don't care about labels, don't care about titles. They don't care about certain groups. Their whole agenda is unifying everyone, bringing everyone together. Not under a certain banner, not under a certain dogma. Their whole agenda is just bringing everybody together under love. That's it. That's it. To be woke means that you have to be spiritually awake. I love hearing the birds. To be woke means that you have to be spiritually awake. The great majority of us are not spiritually awake. Being spiritual has nothing to do with being in church. If you don't like certain groups of people, then you're not woke. If you don't like Democrats, if you don't like Republicans, if you don't like conservatives, if you don't like Christians, if you don't like Muslims, if you don't like Chinese, if you don't like a certain group of people, whoever they are, whatever group that is, you're not woke. When you know who you are, when you're comfortable in who you are, labels and titles don't mean anything. Most people will agree whether they're religious or whether they're part of the spiritual movement or they're in nature or whatever it is that they're into. Most people will agree that we are spiritual beings living a human experience. Say again, most religious people, most people in the realm of spiritual believe that we are spiritual beings living a human experience. That's very significant. It's significant because the reality is spirits are not, do not have an ethnicity. I can't even talk. Spirits do not have a ethnicity. Spirits do not have a nationality. Spirits do not have a race. Spirits do not have a sex. They're neither male or female. For the sake of this conversation, we're going to group spirit, your soul, your consciousness. We're going to group that all as one, okay? Because I'm not trying to get into no debate about which is which. All of that's the same for the sake of this conversation. And so when you talk about your spirit or your soul not having an ethnicity, not being male or female, when you truly understand that, when you truly understand that your spirit, your soul, your consciousness is neither male nor female, it's neither white, black, Hispanic, Native American, Russian, Chinese, Pakistani, it's none of that stuff that we use to divide ourselves. When you truly understand that you're a spiritual being, then you truly understand that it's not about Black Lives Matter. It's not about Blue Lives Matter. It's not about any of that stupid crap. All of that crap is divisive. All of it's divisive. As a spiritual being, you don't care about anybody's color. You don't care about anybody's race. You don't care about anybody's nationality, ethnicity, what their sexual orientation. You don't care about none of that crap. All you want, are you growing? What are you learning here in this experience? Because we have to understand something. Our soul, our spirit, our consciousness is immortal. Our soul will never die. It's been around since the beginning of time. Before time began, our soul was here. As spiritual beings. Spiritual beings. I'm not talking about religious beings. Religion has nothing to do with spirituality at all. As spiritual beings, aware of who we are. We're not divisive at all. As spiritual beings, aware of who we are, We don't allow ourselves to be divided. As spiritual beings, aware of who we don't allow ourselves to be judgmental towards any other group or any other person. My hope and prayer is that we'll stop being so religious and become more spiritual. That we stop being so divisive, so divided, so ignorant, so shallow, and become more spiritual. And again, spirituality has nothing to do with any religion whatsoever. Being a part of any religious group don't make you spiritual, it makes you religious. It makes you dogmatic. We're going through a turbulent time in our country. Not just our country, but the whole world is. My hope and prayer is that we could find a way to shed all of the stupid stuff that we're holding on to and get to our roots, our core, our soul, and see and connect with each other on a spiritual level. I love you guys. Peace.